Let's be honest about the situation. There's something within you that has been clenching its teeth for too long, striving hard and forcing each step as if the whole world would unravel without your grip holding it together. Can you feel that pressure in your chest, that relentless voice that never quiets, that urge to escape even if you don't know where to go? You don't voice it, but deep down, you know you're weary from trying everything, pushing when you've run out of strength, swimming against the current without any sense of whether there's a shore. The most unsettling part is that no one seems to notice. You keep going, keep smiling, keep performing, but inside you're slowly cracking. What if I told you that all this suffering stems from a single lie you've repeated so often that it has become your truth? That lie is the belief that you can only progress if you're in control, that you can only truly live if you're striving, that you only matter if you achieve things quickly. Here's the twist. That lie wasn't born in you. It was instilled in you since childhood. You were taught that if you don't run, you'll be left behind. If you don't fight, you don't deserve anything. And if you don't do more, you are simply not enough. Like everyone else, you bought into it. You learned to rush before you learned to pause, to push before you learned to flow, to force before you learned to trust. But I'm here to share something no one else tells you, something you won't find in self-help books or at flashy motivational seminars. The truth is, the more you force life, the more you resist it. The more you try to control, the further you drift from what you truly need. What you call progress is often simply a facade of empty movement, a performance for an audience that isn't even watching. You fear that letting go would cause everything to collapse. Yet what if the opposite is true? What if relinquishing control is the very thing that allows the pieces to fall into place? The control you think is safeguarding you may actually be the cage confining your breath. There's a cruel paradox within you. The more you hunt for peace, the more anxiety you create. The more you seek to control, the more chaos you unleash. You're driven by fear. Fear of failure, of not being enough, of losing your place. But that fear is rooted deeper. You're scared that if you stop pushing, no one will come to your rescue. That if you don't do the work, the world will forget you. That if you stop insisting, everything will come to a halt. You've been conditioned to act urgently, to hurry, to obsess. And now, you're paying the price. Living by force is a silent torture. It's an exhausting weariness that others might not see, but you feel it in every fiber. You might not even know what it's like to live without this compulsion. Have you ever allowed yourself to stop pushing? Have you tried trusting that things can unfold without you dragging them along? I'm not advocating for giving up. I'm suggesting something much more challenging. Stop interfering. Stop imposing your timeline on a universe that has its own pace, because as painful as it is to accept, not everything hinges on you. This isn't a condemnation, it's a liberation. However, the twist is that you've believed for so long that you're the driving force behind everything that letting go now feels like betrayal. As if relinquishing control would mean losing your relevance, as if doing nothing makes you cease to exist. Do you see what's happened? You've equated your worth with your productivity and trusting your self-esteem to your performance, and now you're uncertain of who you are unless you're forcing something. This message is not a call to surrender. It's a challenge, a crack in the rigidity of your existence, a whisper amid the clamor suggesting, maybe life doesn't need to be dominated. Maybe it just requires you to step aside. You might be thinking, what if I let go and nothing happens? But the real question is, what if you continue forcing and everything falls apart? Because at some point it will. Your body will complain, your mind will break, your spirit will tire. No one can wage an endless war against themselves. So before you keep racing as though the world is chasing after you, ask yourself, what are you evading with all this movement? What truths are you dodging when you're not busy? What would occur if just for today you paused your pushing? Here's the most uncomfortable part. The universe isn't against you. It's simply waiting for you to stop obstructing it. And the sign that you're beginning to flow. It's the fading fear of the void, the ability to exist without filling every moment with action, trusting that even in stillness, something significant is occurring, that life is still working in your favor when you step back. But we struggle to believe it. We find it hard to accept that growth can occur in the quiet because everything around us promotes the idea that progress comes only from agitation. Take bamboo, for example. It may spend years growing underground before it finally breaks through the surface, and when it does, it shoots up faster than any other plant. Likewise, how much have you developed without anyone realizing? How many internal battles have you waged in silence? How many layers have you shed without applause? That is also progress. That transformation happens without force. Of course, it lacks glamour. You can't flaunt it, post about it online, or add it to your resume, making it invisible to a world obsessed with tangible results. Yet deep down, you know you've changed in ways that may not be visible. Something that has shifted while you were silent, and that's the power of not forcing. This type of transformation is deep and irreversible. You're not changing to prove anything, but because you realize you don't have to prove anything at all. This is where the old paradigm shatters. It's no longer about winning, but freeing yourself. You're no longer after recognition. You're in pursuit of authenticity. You don't need to race. Just walk when the time feels right. And here's an even more profound truth. When you stop forcing, it's not just you who transforms. The people around you begin to change as well. Your energy shifts. Instead of exuding tension, you emanate peace. You cease being a walking alarm and become a calm mirror for others, and that impact, whether you can see it or not, is vast. We all seek someone to show us that it's feasible to live differently, that not everything is a race, that pressure isn't inherent to worthiness, that you don't always need to be on the edge to justify your existence. When you embody this belief, when you stop forcing and start trusting, you become living proof that another life is possible. But beware, for this isn't easy. It requires real courage, greater than the courage it takes to force. True courage is found in waiting when everything in you wants to rush, in trusting when the future feels uncertain, in saying, I don't know what's coming, but I'm ready to receive it without pushing. It's in this conscious surrender where the magic truly begins, where the missing pieces align, where opportunities arise without you chasing them. No longer acting from a place of lack, but from openness. You stop begging and start inviting. You no longer chase, but attract. The universe doesn't respond to loudness, it reacts to frequency. When you let go, your frequency changes. You stop radiating anxiety and begin to emit trust. Your desperation transforms into a presence that can change everything. Do you now see that control isn't true power, that foregoing force isn't the same as losing progress? What genuinely makes a difference isn't overwhelming effort, but alignment. You aren't here to dominate life, you are here to co-create with it. And that starts when you relinquish the steering wheel. Not to crash, but to realize you were never driving alone. Life always had a path for you. It just needed you to stop hindering it. Now that you've made it this far, I encourage you to pause, not physically, but mentally. Observe what you're feeling right now. If something inside you stirred, even just a crack, a hint of doubt, a tiny break in the wall you've constructed, then there's no going back. Something within you has changed, and that change, no matter how small, is the beginning of a new path. Perhaps you won't notice it immediately because real change doesn't come with fanfare. It's more of a subtle whisper that grows in strength in the days that follow. It's a seed planted deep within you, ready to sprout every time the world pushes you to run or force things. For now, you know there exists another way. and that awareness is yours to keep. I'm not saying you need to have all the answers. I'm saying that you should stop seeking clarity as a prerequisite to action. Sometimes the most impactful movement is internal. Sometimes the bravest step is the one that goes unnoticed, taken when you decide you will stop pushing. You're finished exhausting yourself trying to fit into a mold that was never meant for you. And at that exact moment, the world changes. Remember, your reality aligns with your inner state. When you align with yourself, everything else around you also aligns. To do this, you must stop pushing where there is no path. Cease climbing walls that lead nowhere and allow yourself to simply be, without action, without force, without the need to prove anything. Believe it or not, that is a power in itself. Society has led you to believe that power resides in noise, in force, in insistence. But the real power, the rare and quiet kind, is recognizing that what is meant for you doesn't need chasing. It just needs space to unfold. Take a moment to look at yourself closely. If you're here listening to this, it's not by chance. Something in you called for this message, something longs for it. It desires to let go, to be free, to stop resisting life and begin to truly live it. If you felt something resonate with you, if this touched you positively, don't leave without acknowledging it. Leave a comment. I'm ready to let go of control. It doesn't matter if you've never commented before, just write it, because it's not just a phrase. It's a symbolic act, the first step toward a different life. One where you don't have to force, run, or prove anything to anyone. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing. Not because I urge you, but because that path reveals perspectives that others shy away from. You'll begin to see clearly what you've been conditioned to ignore for years. Here, we're not simply repeating platitudes. We're unearthing hard truths. So if you know someone caught on autopilot, someone who has been struggling and forcing for years, share this video with them. No explanation needed. Just send it and observe. And now I'll leave you with these thoughts. Don't force a conclusion. Don't chase for answers. Don't erect barriers out of anxiety. Flow as if you already have everything you need. Move as if there's no rush. Act as if you've already achieved your desires, because what is truly meant for you is already on its way. When it arrives, it won't ask if you're ready. It will simply knock on your door, and for the first time, you'll be at peace to open it. See you in the next video.